deep in an underground secret Pacific Island lair, Pop Culture Minefield presents Saturday Morning Funtime. This is the Comic Relief Crusader telling you to get your morning cereal ready, because here we go.
Well, good afternoon, good morning, good evening, and hello. So Jerry can't be here because he's having trouble cleaning up his back. Gary can't be here. He's having trouble cleaning up his back door right now. It seems to be a bit messy. So he's asked me to take over. So good morning. And oh, damn, he's back. I was about to ruin the channel forever, and you'd stop me.
Yeah, it's like there's only one person this morning that has admitted to cleaning their back area.
It wasn't you.
It wasn't me.
But we won't say who it was, but it wasn't me either. So that cuts it down to 50%.
Absolutely. We will not say who it was, but I will say it was that person.
Hey now. I meant I finally cleaned up back there, not my ass.
He
I
said
cleaned
back
up.
drop, not back door, back drop. Yes.
Exactly. Why, hello,
I know,
everyone.
but the announcement of I've cleaned my back area, and I'm like, what are we talking about?
And you should every morning. You should clean it. I'm a big believer in hygiene. So.
Well, Red Fox said you got to wash your ass, so I'm a firm believer in that.
Absolutely, yes. No one wants a, no one
I
wants
love
an
Red
unwashed
Fox.
ass.
Like some of his early comedy, he was talking about, he would be like, sometimes I like to go on the subway and just laugh at ugly people. I was doing that every weekend until I looked over and I saw a lady pointing and laughing at me.
Yeah, if I wanted to do that, I would just look in a mirror. So I wouldn't have to spend money doing the subway.
Yeah, and I'm sorry, but Keith is not here today. He's dealing with family stuff. Actually,
I'm leaving.
almost everybody that is normally on Saturday is not here because of family issues. So I would say this is a shit Saturday for some people. But I'm glad you guys showed up. I was afraid I was going to be alone. And, well, with Martin, which is...
I'd be afraid to be alone with you too. That's true.
But
Well, I'm glad to be
who's in
here.
the chat. We have, let's see, who got here first? I remember somebody. Bill was here first. Bill Barkley, a fellow Scotsman. And he was here. And then I think Gap was the next one. No, Joseph Dredd, first cousin to Judge Dredd. And let's see. And then John is in the chat, not on the show. And he wished Bill Barkley a happy birthday. So happy birthday, Bill Barkley.
Happy birthday,
Bill
Bill.
Barkley.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Well, it was yesterday because
Yesterday?
yeah.
Just
Fuck you.
fuck you. Gap After Dark is here. That is the Gap previously known as Gap Stargate. And let's see, who else? Penny is here. Good morning, Penny.
Yes.
And I know Anima is here because her Wi-Fi is out, so she's hanging out on her mobile device. Six is here. Good morning, Six. Dragon Ruse is here. We're getting the Brandon the Anime guy show Fallout.
Mm-hmm.
I see Facebook user. I'm assuming that must be Stephanie Beatty, but it could be somebody else. Hard to tell. But good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday. I'm freezing. It's 19 degrees here in the studio.
Well, if that was Celsius, you'd be fine.
It's negative in the Celsius. I think it's like -7 degrees.
Oh, is that all? It's about -15 Celsius here in Alberta. So, wimp.
Well, I say,
Yeah, but you're inside where there's like heat.
Oh, you're in the
I have no
garage.
heat.
That's right.
It is that temperature in the studio.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
freezing.
You
Well,
know
that's
what?
not good.
Get a different studio.
Sean Estep is here. Good morning, Sean. And I was right. It's Stephanie Beatty. Good morning, Stephanie. We start seeing her again now that we're going live again on Facebook. Facebook was being really retarded with everything, trying to get them to show the show. And
Well, yeah, it's Facebook.
every single time it would pop errors. And I'm like, I'm done with you. And I stopped. And then all of a sudden it started showing up again in my, so I was setting up a show. And I'm like, okay, let's see if it works. And it does. It's working again.
Facebook sucks.
You know, Animo is laughing like, as cold as it gets in my studio, I will still drink ice water.
You don't get iced
Only
coffee?
you would do that, Gary.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what's
Only
wrong
you.
with me. I have no idea what's
Well,
wrong with me.
I agree, though. I mean, I'm one of the few people that goes to Dairy Queen in the winter here and still has ice creams. And
She was making fun of that. 'cause it was ice cream.
Hell yeah. Ice cream in the middle of winter. Yeah.
I don't care what time of year it is. I'm going for
Yeah.
a milkshake, you know.
Another weird thing about me is since I was a kid, I walk around in cutoffs or shorts all year long.
Yeah,
I
me
hate
too.
slacks. I hate pants that hug my ankles. It's
That's why you should
weird.
wear a kilt.
If
Best of both worlds.
they made one my size, I would.
Well, yeah, it's true. They're not usually that small.
Well, just not to confuse you, Stephanie, the Scottish accent he learned to do. He's actually from Alberta, Canada.
That's right. It's a complete fake. I'm a 100% faked personality.
Fake personality.
In fact, I'm not even real. I'm just an AI.
You're just an AI.
Well,
Hey,
normally I'm like this, and you know me, I'm half dead. But when I'm like this, I'm not dead.
this is the new logo I'm creating for Dork Side of the Ring, Danny's show that's going to be on Sunday. My problem is I only know how to do traditional animation, so what I have to do is animate it manually through an traditional animation program. It's a film program, but I think that looks pretty good so far, just in the layout. What do you guys think?
I'd say it looks pretty good.
Nice. Yeah.
When I'm done with it, it'll actually be backlit. But oh well. Working on it this morning.
Just to let you know, mate, you're a little bit choppy right now. Just to let you know.
You're
I know it's
a little
probably
choppy.
nothing you can do about it, but you're a little bit choppy. Yeah.
That's because I'm sharing my screen. The minute I do that, and it's not the internet, it's
That's
the
better.
computer.
You're back, yeah.
The problem is the computer. The computer, when I share a screen, goes, you know what? We're going to decide to give the RAM to the artwork and not you.
And
So I get none
disconcertingly,
of the
your
RAM,
voice is
and
now
it
out of your mouth is moving at a different time.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a StreamYard problem.
What is it
I've
with
been
you?
dealing with it for weeks. It's annoying as hell.
All right. Yeah. Anyway, you're
Yeah,
back.
from there I stopped sharing and it'll probably eventually get normal.
It's fine now. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
It's the way it's supposed to be now.
You need a
But,
new computer.
So
Well,
didn't
this
you
is
get
actually a
computer?
new computer. The problem is I think that there's a conflict. I have two CPUs and a GPU, and there is confusion going on. I don't know how. I know how to use a computer. I don't know how to fix a computer. And the problem is there's a communication problem. And it happens when I'm doing streaming, and I want to format one of my computers. This one. Is it here? Oh, no, it's actually to my right here. I can't grab it because Scott put the eagles on top of it. He gave me a statue with eagles on it. It's really cool.
All of them, like Don Henley included.
Yeah, actually, no, it's only 3 of the eagles. Of course, Don Henley in the front because, he wants all the attention. Glenn Fry back here and Joe back here.
Bernie Leadon was the best eagle. But
Oh,
Bernie Leadon was the best.
And here's the computer. It's a small one, but it's actually got a good processor in it. Good for doing video streaming and shit like that.
Those little. I've got one, a Skull Candy little Intel NUC. Brilliant. It's worked great for years. Still works fantastic.
Yeah, this little guy was. It was from work, and then they never took it back. And I kept going, "Do you want me to bring it in?" And they're like, "No." Well, now I'm in another city. I'm like, "You guys are screwed now. You're never getting your computer back. You had your chance."
just don't remind them you still have it.
Well, I just said it live on a show. Is that bad?
So the FBI will be at your door within minutes.
What
Yeah.
the federal boob investigators?
Could be investigators.
Screw
That's-
that one up, buddy.
I'd volunteer for that force.
Oh heck yeah! It's
If
sort of
that's
like,
actually what they did, yeah.
yeah. If only.
So,
The world would be a
nice
much
to
better
see you,
place if
Anima.
that's the only thing that they would do.
Yeah.
Yeah,
but that's a
I think
side
that's
issue.
the first time that we are on the same panel. Is it? 70s.
No, I think we've been on a couple before. It's just I'm not very memorable. I'm
so used to seeing you on the other shows.
I'm
that
sure
you're
we've
doing.
been on one
like
before.
yours and Toxic Tuesday. That's what I connect to.
Here's the sad
Well,
thing.
if not, I'm very pleased to be here with you, and it's nice to have some sanity on the show.
I'm pleased because
me,
I'm going to be
sanity?
limited in how much I get to see you, Brian, because this was a major part of my meeting yesterday. Is I've got to cut another show out of my week in order to be able to do my job.
Oh dear.
And so Thursdays is eventually going to go away, but I'm only going to get to see you when you're on here or on Toxic Tuesday.
You're not going to see me on Mondays.
I can't anymore. It's
I'll
like
miss you.
Animal will tell you is really bugging me because I like hanging out with you.
You're always
It's really
welcome
weird.
whenever
You're one
you
of my
get-
bros.
He's
You're always
dropping
welcome.
Thursday, and that's one of the 2 shows that we are doing together now. So.
Oh well, there you go. You see, I
Sucks
can't ask him
badly.
can't ask him to favor me over you. I couldn't do that. However, you know you'll
He
still
just
be.
told me he's dropping me as well. So,
Yeah,
he's not very loyal, is he? Anyway, you'll always be welcome, and I'll always extend the invite to you. So if there's the occasion that you can, then it will be there.
Yeah, and I guess it all depends on if I got caught up on work or not.
Well, Das Wolfen can easily replace you, and no one will.
Yeah, he's already done it. He replaced Keith
yeah.
because Keith had Fridays.
Well, I think that's a great suggestion, Das Wolfen. So I'll reach out to
I
you after the show.
swapped Friday shows.
Yeah. And that just means I have to remove pop culture minefield from the logos and all that work. I'm just going to leave it. It'll take me too much work.
But anyway, it's Saturday. It's a nice morning, other than freezing. I'm right
Tell me
now.
about it.
I've got my hands in front of the heater. The heater is right below me. It's like was sitting here for a few days, but now that it's in the teens, I got to put it right in front of me to keep some warm air on me.
Try proper clothing. It's fucking winter.
It would
Underwear.
really suck if all of a sudden your internet dropped, honey. I'm just saying. Oh.
Try underwear.
So, we started watching Anima, and I started watching 1899 this week, and
Yep.
because Martin and I talked before the show, I didn't like season 3 of Dark. I thought it went way off the rails, and the writing was weak, and Martin was saying that they apparently lost one of the writers, and it was like apparently an important writer because you could really feel the difference. But season 1 and 2 of Dark was really good. This show starts off, and I'm going to say it's a slow burn, but not a boring burn like Andor.
Thank
it's
the Lord.
just it's slower. It's because Andor is really just depressingly slow. I mean,
Yes.
literally, I mean this, that if Andor was an actual human being, it would be riding the short bus. That's how slow it is.
Well, there's a
And,
reason I gave up on it after one episode, and I'm glad I did.
Well,
I didn't. I watched 3 episodes of it, and I got the basic gist of it. I enjoyed it. It's actually good. It's just not great, and it's not Star Wars.
boring. It's
Yeah.
It is
boring.
boring.
As fuck.
Well,
yeah.
it's true. You're in the sludge part. After 4 or 5, it gets momentum, and after 6, is wow. I like very much the show.
Yeah, but the thing is, there's so
Andor?
much good stuff to
Yeah.
watch. Why watch a series that takes?
No,
like
look,
6
Andor is a
episodes
good
to
show.
Because I like from the beginning. I don't have problem with a slow burner if it's well done.
I'm just going to say this. Everybody knows it. What he likes is the fact that Andor has the same accent. I'm just saying.
It does.
Sounds a lot like him.
Representation.
Yeah, it's representation, right, Martin?
I don't believe in that concept.
I know.
Wait, is Martine Andor?
No.
Because it does
He
sound
sure
like-
sounds like him, doesn't he?
Yeah, sure does.
Conspiracy
God
theory.
damn it. I like it better when you equated me with Cam.
Con. What are you sharing here, anime guy? What is this?
This is a good problem to have. Out of all the shows that I started with, I had 25 shows from this season that I started with. Cut it down to 20. Now I've cut it down to 15. So this is a problem that everyone should have. Too much stuff and not enough good stuff.
I have that
It's-
problem.
it's- It used to be like that.
Yep.
It's
It
harder
used
to be
to,
like
but
that now. Yeah.
Oh, the
Yep.
lovely Sherry is here, and I think did Jeebus here? Yeah, Jeebus is
Yeah.
here too. Good morning, guys. Brahma Bull's here. Woo! Brahma.
Brahma and I do our hockey show, Bourbon and Boarding, 10 p.m. Mountain Time, Saturday night. Be there.
Nice.
speaking of which, how is the season going so far?
It's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I'm a Dallas Stars fan, and they're still doing pretty well, outscoring their problems. And I know the Brahmas sports the Avs, and they're coming on strong right now. So there's been some good
Didn't
stuff.
the Avs win it last year?
I have no memory of that. I can't remember that at all.
I have no memory of that.
I have no idea what you're talking about. No, yes, they
Oh,
did.
in that case, they must have. So.
They did, yes. They were rather convincing Stanley Cup winners and probably going to be in the final again this year. But Dallas are much improved, and it's been fun. It's fun. It's always fun when there's a lot of goals, and I've seen a lot of goals this year. You don't want boring defensive games. I'd rather have a 7-5 win than a 2-1 defeat, So
Yeah. Well, speaking of hockey, is anybody in Canada actually going to win?
absolutely.
Well, that
not.
answers my question there.
No.
I'm sad.
I think it's unlikely. Still unlikely. They just don't. Whatever it is, there's no complete team here. You've got a couple of teams like Edmonton and Toronto have got great forward lines, but they're missing a lot of other pieces because they've spent so much money on those contracts, or they've got a goalie issue or whatever. It's just not a complete lineup. Winnipeg Jets have done reasonably well so far this year, but I don't see that continuing. I think they're going to drop off, especially as their coach was the coach of the Stars the last couple of years, and he's not particularly great, I don't think so.
Not too good.
No, and Ottawa are perennial losers. They've got a good young team now in Ottawa, but they struggle money wise and to attract players. It's just Montreal, okay, but they're just none of them have got enough to make that final step to win. So I think you're going to see the Avs again. Boston are going great this year, slightly unexpectedly, but they're absolutely killing it in the East. So you're looking at sort of Carolina, Boston, New Jersey in the East as potential Stanley Cup finalists. The Avs in the West, with maybe Vegas and Dallas probably make the playoffs. But
It's Boston. The Bruins will find a way to screw it up.
well, that's what everyone's wondering because, come on, they weren't
I know.
meant to be where they are right now, and yet they're really killing it. And I'm glad because I've got their goalie in my fantasy league.
Hey, just another red shirt's here.
It's been a fun
How
season.
are you doing, my friend? It's good to see just another red shirt. So I guess I'll get us started. I'll show this one last time before we start. This is the new logo I'm working on for Danny's new show, Dork Side of the Ring, that'll be appearing here on Sundays. So
I think Dark Side of the Ring of Power Rangers would have sounded better.
I might have worked as a show. It's going to be interesting. All I know is KGRA, when they heard what the show is about, was like, yeah, we want it. We want the show. So everything that we're putting on Pop Culture Minefields go into KGRA. So in January.
Great.
Nice.
Good to see everybody. Let's I guess we can start talking about 1899. Is anybody here other than Anima and I watched any of it?
Just the trailers, and I've got it on my watch list. I was actually going to start watching it last night, but my wife ended up wanting to watch Where the Crawdads Sing, which is more her kind of thing. And it was actually quite good, but it's on the list.
You know, the woman who wrote that was part of the husband and wife team of lion or animal researchers. They worked mostly with lions in Africa during the 70s and 80s. And during an incident with the poacher ended up dead, and the husband and wife fled Africa because they were suspects in the murder of this lion poacher. And
nothing of value was lost. So I'm glad they fled, even if it was them. Who would care?
Well, later Africa, because it's still an open case, and Africa now says, the country, I forget which country in Africa it is, said that they're no longer suspects but witnesses. But the husband died, and she's still alive, and she wrote that book.
Couldn't they get Wakanda to investigate? They've got.
You would think so.
Yeah. Just saying.
What is this Wakanda that you speak of?
Wakanda forever or something.
Yeah, I think that's what we called it. Let me
That's the
see.
thing. We don't really speak about it. We
Yeah,
speak
here it
about
is.
Mexican Iron Man's rant about
It's
it.
that amazing technologically advanced country that refuses to help all the very, very poor countries around it.
We call it Wakanda forever.
What kind?
Yeah.
Anyway, I diverted, but yes, I want to watch it. 1899 looks good. I kind of like that mixture of almost like a sort of a Victorian era steampunk plus
War Monkey has
horror suspense.
a different
Supernatural.
take. He says,
War Monkey?
Yeah. By the way, hail War Monkey.
Mystery box show.
War Monkey. One of my favorite monkeys.
It's one of my
The show
favorite
is
wars.
mindfuck, and I like that. Gary showed me the trailer, and he said, like, yeah, you're probably not going to like this. And I was like, are you kidding me? We're watching this together. It's great.
So I don't mind slow. People are saying it's a little bit slow. I don't
Well,
mind
slow burn.
that.
It's
if
a
you
slow
think it's
burn.
going somewhere, that's okay.
It's not like Andor slow.
No.
It moves at a constant pace. There's a constant pace going on. And as we're watching it, I've already come up with my theory of what's going on because of the symbolism in it and what?
Alice in Borderland. Alice in Borderland. I loved that first season.
I haven't watched it yet. Is it any good?
Oh, kick ass. It's brilliant. Yeah. So
Yeah, I'll give that a
excited,
try.
I'm excited for that too. New season. Yeah.
Now I'm going to point out one of the main characters is his name is Andreas. Can't pronounce his last name, and he plays Ike Larson, the captain of the Kerberos, which is a 4-stack ship. And I thought 4-stack ships didn't start until the early 1900s, but I was wrong. It actually started in 1895.
What's the name of the ship again?
Kerberos, and
Oh.
I'm going to get into the name in a minute.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
they
Andreas
had a
Peach was the name,
previous ship called the Prometheus that was lost at sea, and they begin receiving signals from it in the first episode. They pretty much, I'm not going to say they get up and running in the first episode, but they go at a very good pace in moving forward. They don't stop. They just keep going, and shit starts happening. And there's a lot of weird shit that's happening. They go to the ship. We'll do a better breakdown on Thursday once we're finished with Archer and Vox Machina, because I really wanted to get into a deep dive on this show because there's a lot of interesting words being used, symbols, and I had put it together, I think, going into the third episode, that I happen to know what Kerberos is, that it was invented at MIT back in the 1980s, and it is a network pathway that is clean and fully supported, and it's where the internet comes from. If not for MIT creating Kerberos, we wouldn't have the internet.
Yep.
And so I'm like, why is the ship named that? Circuitry is important.
Wait.
On this ship. There's symbols. Constant symbol is triangle. In fact, triangle with a line through it.
So it's not
You
a
see it-
reference to.
You see it in everything. Like the one woman's earrings are two triangles with lines to it and lines hanging off of it. You'll see the pattern like all over the place. Even in the way they shoot things go in a triangular shape as they
Yeah,
fade
when the
away.
woman walks away
Now,
from the
Gary,
camera and her dress looks like a triangle.
don't forget that Kerberos is a form of the name of the dog that
That's
watches
right.
the gates of
Cerberus,
hell.
yeah, Cerberus,
yeah.
right.
Three-headed hound. Yeah.
So I think it's interesting. And then, of course, the other one, because Prometheus was a Titan, and which existed before Zeus and all that. And Prometheus, of course, tried to get too close to the sun,
No,
flying.
that was Icarus.
Oh, was that Icarus? Yeah. What is Prometheus?
Prometheus gave the gift of fire
Of life.
to
Oh, fire. That was it.
to
Fire.
humanity.
So
he got chained to a rock, and
Where
he
you've got-
flies in and eats his liver every day.
Yeah.
it's really fucking weird. And so there's all this symbolism in there. And Prometheus is the ship that went missing. While they've picked up their crew like the Titanic. They've got the people down in steerage, and they got the upper crust. And midway, or almost midpoint, they begin receiving a signal from the Prometheus. And so they triangulate, and figure out where it's at and begin moving that direction.
Well, the signal is coordinates, and they suspect that it's
Specific
lost
coordinates,
ship.
and they believe it is the Prometheus. They get there, they find the Prometheus, and it's dark. It's been lost for 4 months at sea, and they don't know if anybody's still alive. So they take a ship over there, and I made fun of it, like it's like, let me get this straight. The captain and a doctor are going to travel over with the first officer. Okay, there you go. That's Star Trek.
And 3 red shirts.
And 3 red shirts.
We had
That's
the
right.
Same thought.
That's like,
because he paused it and told
let's
me.
see, 3 main characters and you 3 guys. It's like, oh no, we're not going. It's like, no, we're gonna die. But they get over there and they don't find anybody, and instead they find a locked cabinet, locked from the outside, and they open it, and there's a little boy in there that's mute.
They also find something else, because as soon as they are on the ship, the signal stops. Back on the camera.
Immediately the
And
signal
they
stops.
discover that the signal machine has been destroyed. So how was the signal sent? in
How
the
was
first
the
place?
signal being sent? So many crazy things, man.
And it just gives you more and more questions instead of answers. It's
And
nice.
my theories is that this is what do you call it? A simulation.
Yeah.
That the first simulation was the Prometheus, and it failed. And when I saw the manifest from the previous ship in the 3rd episode, I immediately knew that that's what's going on. That this is a simulation. This is not the real world. They are in a simulation. And the first simulation, or at least the one that they're aware of, failed. Because when he looks at the manifest, the Prometheus captain is his name. And everyone in the manifest are people that are currently on the ship, the other ship. Now, I know previously they were known for time travel, but I think we're going deeper into the rabbit hole in this series. And I think almost literally, because they show that funnel. And I think that's another reference to the rabbit hole of Alice. I'm telling you, this show is not going to do time travel. This one's going to be about something more, it's dark. And I figured out that 3 of the characters, or actually multiple characters, are actually related with other characters in the other world, in the real world. And because it's caused things that are happening, these people are being drawn together away from other people. So that automatically tells me in the writing that that's probably because in the real world, and it's sort of like that other show that I really enjoyed, where they work in an office, and their memory while they're at work is kept at work. That's it. Yeah, is that it? Manifest.
That's
Is that what
the
that shows?
show about the aircraft.
Oh no! I'm talking about the show where they work in an office, and when they leave the office, their memory,
the Apple TV
is switched.
series, Apple
Yeah,
TV Plus.
their memory is switched to the other side of their brain, so they go back to their life and have no idea what they did at work. They have two completely different lives, and it's of
Works
course
for me.
it causes a problem, and the problem is obvious. It's like, well, how do you know if we're being lied to or not being lied to? Because if we're not aware of what's going on in any other part of our
and
life,
that's an extension of the old, was it Philip K. Dick, a Payback?
yeah, payback. That's right.
Is it Philip K.
Paycheck.
Dick? Yeah. Paycheck, yeah, where he
Paycheck.
paychecks or payback's a different thing entirely.
Yeah, payback's another.
Yeah, which always puzzles me.
Payback is good.
Mel
Paycheck is
Gibson.
not.
The paycheck always the story, original story in the movie always puzzled me because you hire this person that supposedly got these great skills and then you wipe their memory after 2 years. How can you ever advance in your skills if you have to forget everything you've learned in that 2 years?
Yeah,
That's
that
just,
was
it
good.
never made any sense to me. Like you're going to be 2 years, you could have learned so much and been so much better at your job, but that's all wiped out. You don't retain that knowledge, so you're never going to get any better. So you're no longer going to be the thing that they hired. It was a bit weird.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And by the way, War Monkey, I made that reference to Dark City. I said that to Anima, that she needs to see that movie, Dark City. I love that film.
Oh, now I'm getting the feel of what you're talking about with 1899. If it feels like
1899 is because this is one of the coolest things. They find a rabbit hole in the ship. What it is, it's a conduit, and the captain just happens upon it, and he
Was
ends
it in
up
the rear,
going
Gary?
through the tunnel.
Conduit in the rear.
And he comes up, he pushes it open, and he looks, and it's a trap. It's a trap door that leads to a back door, and it's got the triangle shape on it.
Careful now.
And there's no reason for this conduit to exist.
Phrasing.
It's like, why is this conduit there?
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm telling you, things are happening in this show, and we have not had it revealed to us yet who the main puppet master is.
Oh,
And
well,
even
the
when they
episodes in-
reveal it to us, is it
If-
really the puppet master? Because I suspect that the main female character, played by Emily Beecham, she was in
Mara
Badlands,
Franklin.
and she plays Mara
Franklin.
Franklin.
I think it's her
And
behind.
I
behind
believe
all this.
she's at the core of this because she is having an episode, a psychotic episode at the opening seconds of the show, and then they're drugging her up and they throw her into her bed, and then all of a sudden she's awake on the ship,
So
and she's got fresh binding scars on her legs that are still bloody. And I'm like, I immediately knew this isn't real. Something's happening here. At first, I thought it was just a psycho thing.
So are
that
you
she was-
saying she's like the player and the rest of the non-playing characters, or
I think there
No, I
are
think she messed
non-playing
up.
characters, and you'll notice some of them begin to drop dead suddenly.
But that's-
And they think
Daniel
there's
is
a
doing
mystery of
that.
a murder on the ship, but there's no markings, and they're just dead. They're just dead. They're just laying there, not breathing
That's-
anymore.
That's the man that came from the sea, though, the stranger, Daniel.
Well, we meet him.
And we
And
see him
he-
kill
yeah.
the girl, the first one. He says, "I'm so
He-
sorry."
well,
she's dead.
We didn't see him kill her. He just
Yeah.
says, "I'm sorry
Yeah,
for
and
what
then
I
she's
have to
dead.
do." And then the next time we see her, she's lifeless on the ground. We don't know what happened or why it happened. We're 3 episodes in. I'm absolutely fully engaged with this show.
Me too.
I am
And the thing-
totally like,
because-
I want to know. Now, does that mean I'm not going to get pissed at the end of the show if it ends up being something really stupid? Yeah, but I like the mystery. I like a good mystery.
It's probably going to end without giving us really any answers. The season, I mean.
Sounds different.
I think because Mara is a doctor and she's fascinated by the human brain, I think that she sort of made the simulation and then fucked it up and got sucked into it, something like that.
Yeah, and again, 3 triangle is Mara's character, Daniel, and the little boy. What I figured out is I believe that they are husband and wife, and that's their child or represents their child.
Well, he tells her, right?
I don't remember.
it
What?
could just be a psychotic dream of hers, though.
He uses that beetle to get into a cabin close to hers.
Yeah, well,
She's
that
10,
immediately
11.
tells me
She goes in
technology.
10, 13, and then I think he told her that
I don't remember
they've
that.
been married
But,
for like 12 years, and Elliot is their son.
I hope they're
I
not
don't
going to
remember
go
hearing
down
that.
the route that she's perhaps in a lunatic asylum and is just having a psychotic dream.
Well, see, that's what I initially thought, but everything points to technology in it.
Okay.
The symbolism, the way things are communicated, because when you finally see the ticker tape, it's in triangle shapes, ups and down, up and down. And when he opens a communications box, all that's in there is a bar with a red light in the middle and an up triangle and a down triangle. And he looks at the tape and he begins hitting it in the pattern that's on the tape. And then all of a sudden we see the end of the episode as shit starts happening in one of the circuit boxes. And I'm like, this is technology. This is not a psychological, even though it is psychological in the way that it's presented. I believe that they are in an alternate, or what do you call it? I said it earlier. Virtual world. This is virtual. And it's apparently an experiment that failed previously, because that's what the first ship is. Yeah. They were ordered to sink it, but the captain refuses because he believes something's up with it. The reason he is you get trace memories and something's bothering him. And then, of course, he gets the manifest, and the manifest says the names of everybody, including himself as the captain of the Prometheus. So weird. I believe that something is going on, and we're also given a vision of somebody who's watching them, a watcher on video screens in a private room. We don't know who it is. I think it has something to do with her vision. She sees her father, and she screams at her father, and he's shadowed, so you can't see who it is, and he won't help her when she's being pulled away at the very beginning of the series. I'm telling you, man, this is an interesting show. I don't think the up and down represents Morse code. I think that Morse code is what they would have been using. It replaces Morse code. The problem is it, because like in Morse code, you know how Morse code works. Morse code works with the fact you have dit dot dash dash dash, and it's how you hold the signal that dictates
she was only
what
the
letters
signaler,
it's forming.
She was only the signaler's daughter, but she did it.
Brian.
Wow.
An oldie, but a goodie.
So I definitely believe it's a simulation. I believe that the triangles, when they plug them in, are code to start certain things for whatever experiment is going on. There's an experiment going on. The weird part is, why was the boy only on Prometheus and not on the Kerberos? Every other character is the same except for the boy. The boy is the one outstanding, and then of course Daniel or Danny,
who comes out of the water,
who comes off of the Prometheus and
Sauron.
swims over. He's Sauron, yeah.
Sauron.
The ever-waltzing eye.
Sounds interesting.
That's what I think it's going to be.
I do like
this
the
time.
comparisons. The comparator to Dark City is a good one for any show to be compared to that. Although it sounds like it's got a touch of 13th Floor as well.
Well, I like that that film. That's a good film.
I love that film.
Look what's
my friend was the bartender in that movie. Rob, he's a good actor.
Right.
He retired from acting after he had his second bypass, but that was one of his last films before he retired.
Great
He plays
movie.
the bartender.
So just the fact it's simulated universe within simulated universe, and when the people in the simulated universe start to realize they're in a simulated universe, things go awry.
Bye, this Wolfen. Have a good day.
Bye, John.
Oh, see you later, John.
Yeah.
See you later.
But I gotta, there are things within the show that I find uninteresting. And I'm not sure why they're there, to be honest with you.
Like what?
Once again, sex should not be part of a show unless it's there for a reason. And I can't understand the implications of gay sex being so important, other than representation. It has nothing to do with the storytelling. So it's sort of a distraction. It's like it's in there, and I'm like trying to figure out, why is this? The characters are interesting, but the behavior is weird. It's like, why show the sex? What's it got to do with the story?
And that always annoys me, and I don't care what kind of sex it is. Like gratuitous sex inserted into a show where it doesn't need to be there for plot purposes has always been a thing I've hated for decades.
Amen, man.
I hate that too. I mean, show the scene leading up to it, but then cut to what's after.
It's like when the studio forced Tony Scott to shoot a love scene between Tom Cruise and what's her name in Top Gun. I liked what he did. He actually says, okay, I'll do it my way then. He did it silhouette.
But if it's got nothing to do with the plot per se, then it shouldn't be in there.
That's what Tony was saying with that. It's like, why? That's not part of the story. It has no importance to the story. And they have two scenes where there's, gay shenanigans going on. Those cheeky gay guys. And I'm like, what has this got to do with the fucking story? I don't care that they're gay. It's just, but why are you showing the gratuitous interaction between them? What's that got to do with the story? You're not doing it with anyone else, just these characters. And it's the problem I had with Doom Patrol. It's like the heavy focus on the gay sex thing was weird. It's off-putting. I would feel that way if it was straight sex. I don't care what.
I'm the same. Yeah, I've always hated gratuitous love scenes in any movie, any TV
belong
show
in there.
Don't belong there.
Yeah.
Which is a lot of it, if not most of it.
Yeah, there was always that had to be in there in every movie. Here's 5 minutes of the male and female protagonist getting it on, and like, who cares?
They're not gay. It's a simulation.
Who could?
If we wanted that, we would go to. There are other methods and ways of viewing said subject. I don't need that in an action flick. I don't need that.
Videos. These are free websites.
Movie, fair enough, but they stick it in action movies, sci-fi movies, mysteries, thrillers, noir. I don't care. If I want to see a romance movie, like Love Story or something, you can go see Love Story. I'd stop taking up valuable movie time with people who could be getting shot or in spaceship
or stabbed And that's been my biggest problem with pretty much everything that has ever come out of HBO, Showtime, or Starz. I think I would like Game of Thrones, but I cannot stand the over-the-top ridiculous sex shit that they do in that. I can't
it really was at the beginning of the show. It pretty much ended after season 4.
It took 4 seasons to finally drop that, and then season 4 on, it started to get terrible.
Yeah, it's sort of like the albino, naked albino ass in House of the Dragon.
Of course, you know when a show's bad is if those gratuitous sex scenes are actually the best thing in the show. Then you know the show's bad.
Hey, but Gary, the albino ass in House of the Dragon gave you a theme for the thumbnails, so that was kind of nice.
All my thumbnails for our discussions about the show always had Doctor Who talking about albino ass. Andreas Pikeman that plays the main character, the captain. Well, one of the main characters. I think actually Emily's character, Moira, is the main character. And I'm beginning to suspect she's the main problem. She may be a problem for whoever's in charge or a main problem for everybody else. I don't know. But I think that Andreas's character, the captain, what I like about him is he reminds me of a young Jürgen Prochnow. If you guys remember him.
Oh, God.
Every time I look at him in every shot in the show, I'm like, God, I see Jürgen.
What a great actor. Yeah.
Oh, man. I love that guy. He played Duke Atreides in the 1984 Dune. He was in Das Boot.
In the Mouth of Madness, which I love.
Oh my God, yeah. Oh,
yeah.
that was John Carpenter's nod to H.P. Lovecraft.
Oh God, I love that. Yeah.
I got to watch that movie again. Crazy freaking movie. And again, dealing with those themes of what's real, what's not real. Why are we here? Is this simulation or is this madness? Which is a good question. Also done by not H.P. Lovecraft, but Philip K. Dick. Because almost every single theme that I remember of anything I read of his, other than in his short stories, was, are these my memories? Is this my life? And
The Keep. What a great movie, The Keep.
Just introduced Anima to that.
What a great movie. But
that is a movie that needs to be remade. Needs to be remade.
But not ruined, though. It would have to be remade.
Well, they kind of ruined the original. They messed up really bad on that. It almost got shelved. That's the situation with that film.
Yeah, it was an earlier Michael Mann.
But
it's a great movie, a great concept. But Philip K. Dick again, he actually did believe we were living in a simulation. He was convinced. He made several speeches about it.
We are.
But that was part of his mental illness.
I tend to agree, but that's
that was always part of his mental illness. Is asking that question: Is this real? Is what I remember my memories? Am I who I think I am? I think one of his best descriptions was in a book that I wish they would do a movie of, where this guy is in this 1950s world, and he doesn't have a job. He lives with his sister and her family, and all he does for money is he solves a puzzle every week for the newspaper. And as things become more and more weird for him, he begins to notice things, and he thinks he's being followed. He notices planes always in the air. He begins to think that maybe this world isn't the world I remember. And it begins with one moment when he goes into the bathroom and he reaches for a chain to turn on a light, and it's not there. It's a switch on the wall. Now, why would he do that? A great moment. That's what begins the pulling of the thread of the universe he's in. And it ends up, he's in a virtual world designed just for him. But the reason why is because he is the only person capable of solving this, code that is being transmitted between Mars and its agents on Earth. And they're humans that have been living on Mars for so long that they're now Martians, and they're at war with Earth, and they're sending missiles. And in order to stop the missiles, he has to solve the code each week. And it's got a great ending where he finally gets to step out into the real world and realize even the people that he loves and in this world, they're other people. They have their own lives. It's sort of like that movie with Jim Carrey, but better. Because
there's that Jake Gyllenhaal movie where he's basically he's on the train trying to prevent a
source code.
Yeah, similar to that. He's inside this thing for one reason, and his body's out there, physical body's out there in a
I love the ending of that, because it's sort of like, is he really dead? And it leads you to believe he's not, that he's back, and I like that. That was a cool little film. Yeah,
I do like that movie, and Gyllenhaal was great in it. And
it was a film that's very similar in plot to a movie Denzel did, dealing with a very similar subject.
I remember that one too. But source code is Duncan Jones, who's David Bowie's kid. He's a brilliant filmmaker, I think. Moon. He made Moon.
Moon.
I
like that one.
I like Duncan Jones. Yeah. So that's a good film.
It was, it was like the one thing I said about it that was critical was it was a short film that was extended into a feature-length film.
Oh, Moon, yeah.
Yeah, it should have just been a short film, like a half hour long.
It was a little bit drawn out, yeah. I mean, you could see where it was going as well, but it was still lovely. It was well made and a lovely idea, and we need more ideas like that being made. less woke shit, if you know what I mean.
And
Less-
you know what? Once again, it was dealing with hydrogen on the moon. And I'm trying to remember. It's got one of my favorite actors in it.
It's Sam Rockwell.
That's it, Sam Rockwell. Finds a way to dance in every movie. Like Chris Walken does the same thing. He finds a way to dance in every movie.
Walken's a great. He was a hoofer, Broadway hoofer, before he became the Christopher
right.
Walken we all know and love.
Yeah, one of his early films was Pennies from Heaven with Steve Martin and Bernadette Peters.
Yeah.
And he plays the perverted, what do you call him, guy that runs the hookers?
Pimp.
Pimp.
He's a pimp.
I'm surprised you can't remember that word.
Yeah.
Say the pimp hand on you.
Well,
Yeah, Walken.
you
because-
usually can't remember your own phone number, so
Yeah, but his weapon of choice video performance for Fatboy Slim, you know that video.
Oh my God, I love that video.
King, I could watch
When he
that
starts flying,
again and again. He's just so good in it. Yeah.
but one of my favorite moments with him is actually from the movie Joe Dirt. And I think I still have it on there. I may have removed it. I removed it. Damn it. Nope, it's here. Here it is.
Oh, yeah. You're talking to me all wrong. It's the wrong tone.
That's right. So he pauses. Oh,
But he was dancing before that
Yeah.
in the hallway. He was dancing around with the broom. He likes to do that. He thinks it's interesting to do in his films. And Sam Rockwell does the same damn thing. He has one of the best moments in Charlie's Angels, the first movie. With the girls. He does that little dance thing to that fucking Godzilla theme.
I've got the clip on my StreamYard of him in Galaxy Quest where they're on the shuttle. I've got not got
my
a name, man. I got a name. I'm gonna die.
He was a red shirt.
That's right. That's I play it when Red Shirt's on my show. I play that for him.
please read the private chat.
Yeah, Brandon needs to go.
Yeah, it's my time to boogie. I got a few things I need to do before my lovely wife gets back from taking her youngest to her slob of an ex for Thanksgiving. So yeah.
Oh, dear.
So I gotta go. I got things I have to go.
All right, buddy. You have a good one. Thanks for
Good to
dropping
see
in.
you, mate.
Yeah, I wish I could
I
contribute
got
more.
to drop in on your show this morning.
Yeah, I appreciate you being there. I wish I could contribute more, but these are shows that I have never heard of. Now, this one actually does sound interesting, and it just to make sure that I'm catching everything, because I'm still having problems with my left ear. It's $18.99 that you're speaking of on Netflix. That's way the hell out there and weird as all F.
Weird as F, and on top of that, it's actually good. But
Well, good.
will it have a good ending? That is the risk you
That's the
take
question.
with a mystery. When you want to watch a mystery, is it going to go where you want it to go?
Well, I'll find a way to check it out, and I'll hopefully have some ability to contribute to this down the road. And just remember,
we'll start doing the breakdowns on Thursdays in December.
that sounds good. And remember, go watch some anime because anime is fun.
All right, buddy, take it easy. See you
I'm
next
out.
week.
Yeah, we'll take care. See you later, everybody.
See you, mate.
Bye.
So, I mean, really, we wrapped it up.
Yeah.
Keith is out. Almost everybody who's not here today is out because family stuff this weekend. Stuff's going on. But I do. No, that's true, Bill. I do like a good
They
ending.
may like a good ending, but they're not always happy.
Not a happy ending, always, but a good ending. I
Jeez.
like a satisfying ending.
And with that,
Always gets back to that, doesn't it? Yeah.
What was it?
It's interesting when we're talking about this stuff, just how much good stuff there is.
Yeah, Deja Vu was Denzel.
Deja Vu, yeah.
But Bill brought another good one up. First edition TV series. That was a good show.
First edition.
First edition, where
the
the guy
guy
would
who-
get the next day's newspaper
Oh, right. Yeah, I don't know if
on
I've
his
ever
doorstep.
watched
It was
That's-
sort of like Quantum Leap.
creepy.
It wasn't. It was like something was being manipulated, so he would get tomorrow's news and he'd have to figure out
Yeah, but
what was in there
A
that
black
he had
cat.
to stop from happening.
a
Black
black
Quantum
cat
Leap then,
wrote him the diary.
Is that what it was? A black cat? That's
Yeah.
right. Yeah. stepped in front of him. That was a silly show. Fisher Stevens and oh my gosh, what's her name that plays the dolly that marries Chucky?
Oh,
Jennifer Tilly.
Yeah, Jennifer Tilly.
She is one of
the
my
big-breasted Tilly sister.
She's one of my all-time favorite fantasy.
Oh my
women.
God!
I
And
absolutely love her.
she plays a hooker.
I love Jennifer Tilly.
I think she played a hooker on that show down in the Keys. Yeah, what a great show. My dad loved watching it, and that's why I started watching, because like my dad's like, you got to watch this show, boy. I'm like, all right. But 1899 is, I think right now, is presenting itself to be very solidly written. I'm hoping not to be let down by the ending, but that's a risk you take with anything you watch.
Yeah.
Was
Early
Christy
edition.
Swanson was in it?
Early edition. That's why I couldn't think of first edition. Early edition.
That is it. Early edition.
Yeah.
I do not remember Christy Swanson being in that. Good to see Gary doesn't do Ginger Side. Kitty Bear, I don't know what the fuck you talking about, man. Are you talking
You're
about
not swapping me out for
this
someone
woman?
black.
No, I'm never gonna race swap this woman. Fisher Stevens, and I was mad when he like regretted having played that character, and I'm like, why?
Oh, Kyle Chandler. Yeah, I don't know if I've ever seen that. I've heard of it. I've never seen it though. Early edition.
Yeah, it's I feel like
William Devane.
anywhere to watch.
Good cast.
Yep, excellent cast. But good show. You know what? Our show, I'm happy. I want to get out of this freezing studio. I'm tired of being in here. It's so damn cold. So I'm going to end the show. Well, I do want to point out that the heater is right at my crotch, so I'd have no excuse.
And here's your daily doses of TMI.
So it's just naturally that small then.
Irish curse.
Well, it's been real.
Thanks for stopping in, buddy. I appreciate it, because I was afraid it was just going to be Martin and me today.
No, my pleasure.
I'm glad you stopped in, and thank you, Anima, for being able to make it. Martin, anything before I start saying some names?
I don't think so. I think we're okay.
Okay, I'm going to start thanking our chat. Bill Barkley, Gap After Dark, Joseph Dredd, Das Wölfen, Penny, Anima Confusa, Six, Colonizer Jeebus, Dragon Ruse, Stephanie Beatty, Alex Moore, Brahma Bull, The Lovely Sherry, Just Another Red Shirt, Sean E. Step, War Monkey. If you go to war, the monkey you want, War Monkey. Zax, a.k.a. Kyle, Cavatino Calvaruman Che, Angelus Draven. Is that a name there? Small Time Republic? Is that a name?
Yeah, that is a name, yes.
Okay, there's a name. And of course, our good friend Kitty Bear is here. I want to thank all of y'all for being here. Just have a great weekend. Just so you know, starting in about a week, I don't think it'll be next weekend, it'll be the following weekend, we're going to start a Sunday show. And it's going to be called Dork Side of the Ring with Danny and Joe's Atmosphere. And anybody else that wants to drop in to talk about wrestling. Professional wrestling.
As opposed to amateur wrestling, which you like to do.
Look, I'm going to tell you something about amateur wrestling. A lot less grease. I'm just saying. A lot less oils.
A lot more carpet burns, but less
more
grease.
sweat. More sweat,
carpet
more
burns.
carpet burns. Yep. Everybody have a great weekend. Thanks for stopping in, 70. Brian, you're
no
a good
problem,
friend.
Mike. No problem.
Anima, I love you. And Martin, I'm okay with you. Thanks. Thank you for being the right side of my brain, my friend. You are. He's like, fuck you. Fuck you. Fuck you.
Hey, you're in my spot. Thanks.
And by the way, today's episode is thanks to Don Ecker, because nobody came to me with any ideas. I had to come up with an idea, and I'm like, I have nothing. I've got nothing. And so in a panic, I wrote in the group, and Don says, how about that new show, 1899?
And he wrote it in those exact tone. He wrote it in that tone.
Well, that's
I
how
thought he'd be here.
I always hear him yelling at me, even when he's typing.
Yeah.
He's your drill sergeant.
Have I ever checked another man's oil while wrestling?
And Gary used to take drill sergeant literally. So
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Hey, let me tell you.
Out of here.
Now, before we go,
sorry, Adam.
I was having one of those dreams, during basic training, and all of a sudden, I realized I wasn't alone with this girl, and I hear my drill sergeant above me going, "You're doing it wrong! Get off of her!
Do it again!"
No, he told me to get off her, and he began showing me how to do it. And,
Oh
and
dear.
this is me waking up. I went, oh my God, what the fuck?
Oops.
I've been in the army too long. What the hell is that about?
You have some weird dreams.
This is how you do it. So, I want everybody to have a great weekend. And like I said, in 2 weeks, we're going to have a new show starting on Sunday. So we're going to have shows 7 days a week. And that's why KGR loves Pop Culture Minefield, because we have a show for every day. And they like that. And so I guess I'll play us out now with some Chris Walken first.
I got a fever. And the only prescription is more cowbell.
Oh, cowbell.
Stop that. It's silly.
And with that,
hey guys, thanks for watching Pop Culture Minefield. If you've enjoyed the show, please make sure to like, subscribe, and don't forget to click the bell icon for updates on our shows and channel. Also, please leave a comment, and we'd like to know what you thought of the episode, as well as
because he is in the Flash
movie.
movie.
Cover in a future
he and
episode.
his the young woman
that
that
become a
played
member of Pop Culture Minefield now. Make sure to visit our membership page
Keith's in the Flash movie.
and merch store at
he is. Zod is
popcultureminefield.com.
in the Flash
You can
movie.
always find Pop Culture Minefield.
I don't know if it's going to be a
on Twitter,
flashback.
Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch.
If he has a car, is that a flash drive?
White House. Everybody heard about the bird. The bird. The bird is the word. Who are you? I said, who the fuck are you? Say hello to your mother.